please welcome Mr. Red Wemette.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. Hello, folks. Here we are. And it is April 17th, 2023. First off, I would like to thank all you wonderful people for stopping by. I also want to thank you, all you people that became members so quickly. Done Deal, Luminous Grin, Julie M, Treetop, Justin, Dobson, Hopperman, and Frank Ferrero. I want to thank all of you. It's very nice of you. And I want to thank everybody that bought my book, too. If you bought it, enjoyed it, I looked last night and there were some terrific reviews. So I really want to thank you. Go for Dog. Haven't seen you for a while in here. How you doing, buddy? Tommy Bridges, good to see you. Hi, Adam. How about hi, Red? Leanne rolling along. Kissy Cat. How you doing, sweetheart? Brian Glade. Leanne rolling along. Thank you all for showing up. I really appreciate it. Belmore. Hi, Red. Hitting the like button. Thank you, dear. Or sir. I get you mixed up because you're what do you call it? Your moniker? There we go. So we have some Wemetters here that have joined the channel. Like I said, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I never really thought people would join the channel. I really didn't. Luminous Grin, how you doing, buddy? I saw your Las Vegas thing, and I don't know if you're home yet or not, but it was good. Glad you enjoyed the tour. Catherine Guerrero, how you doing? Good to see you, Catherine. What's there not to like? Well, let me tell you something. Somebody always finds something that they don't like. Everybody's not happy with everybody. Hey, we have Adam in the room. Luminous Grin. Yes, I'm home. And the crime tour was great. I saw your testimony. It looks good. It really does. Love it. Anyhow, I have an announcement to make. And the announcement is my vlog this week on Wednesday will not be at 4 o'clock Central Time. It will be at 3 o'clock Central Time. And the reason that is at 3 o'clock is because Adam has a special guest. He has Joe Collada will be on. And it will be done an hour early. So instead of, for all you West Coast people, it will be done at instead of 2 o'clock, it'll be 1 o'clock. And you Central Time folks, it'll be 3 o'clock. That's Chicago time. And Eastern Time, that would be 4 o'clock. Boy, that's a lot of mixed up time schedules. But everything is just moved backward 1 hour this Wednesday. Now that we have that straightened out, I'll mention it again. I thought we'd talk today, or I would talk, and a lot of people don't. I mean, you guys talk too. You're in the audience about Joey Lombardo, and not specifically about his crimes or anything else, about his personality. Everybody, most people know, not everybody knows, that Joey was a boxer in his youth, and always sports orientated. But how many people know if he liked or followed the Cubs or the White Sox? How many people knew him well enough? Not many people, I don't think. No, I don't think anybody in here. But I can tell you, he was a White Sox fan. He was definitely a White Sox fan. Did he go to White Sox games? Yes, he did. He absolutely did. He was very big with the youth. Michael Graham, you got it. That's the easiest way to say it right there. And we have Joe Collada that's going to be on the show. So that'll be great. I also have an announcement too, aside from, I'll talk about Joey later or a few minutes. But the announcement is for all you people that became members, I'm going to be putting up content that is just for members only. So if you're a member, you'll be able to get it. Otherwise, you won't be able to get it. But it won't interfere with my Mondays and it won't interfere with my Wednesdays. And it does help the channel. Thank you so much, everybody that's done it. Outfit Boss, how you doing, buddy? You are absolutely right, Michael. Even though you're guessing, he was a White Sox fan. Definitely, he was a White Sox fan. Had he been alive to see the Cubs, or had he been available to see the Cubs win the pennant, I think he would have been really, really happy. Jim Jagger. Hey, Red, did Joey have a girlfriend on the side that his wife didn't know about? I think his wife knew everything. He didn't really keep any secrets from her. And we have Mobbed Up Podcast here. Podcast, excuse me. How you doing, guys? Jack Napier, as a Sox fan, I didn't like the Cubs. I just disliked the annoying fans. Well, when I was there, it was a South Side, North Side thing. If you're from the North Side, the South Siders used to look down on you. I mean, it's just like, oh, you're from the North Side. just the way it was is very different. Michael Graham. Mike, you got me going here. I guess I'll have to sell some more cartons of illegal cigarettes and become an official member of your channel, Red. Love it, Mike. Love it. Oh, we got the crowd here. Hello, Monday Mob Vloggers. Red. Respects to my Don. Tim Hunt. Yes, I'm from the South Side. It was all about a rivalry. It sure was. Comes through okay, like everything else, like everybody. Oh, excuse me. Justin, you're a member too. Grandpa Red. I love you, guy. I love all of you folks. Yes, Joey's house is still around. It's a B&B now. You can rent. You can, rent it for a place to. The person that bought it actually rents it out. You can look for it online if you like. Bill Crawley. Good afternoon. Red from Boca Raton. Not far from where I used to live. Right down I-95. Nice place. Anyway, I wouldn't say he liked the Sox with a passion. He did like the Sox, though. He was a Sox fan. But I think hockey, the Blackhawks, he had a passion for that. He had a passion for other things, too. Bill Kirschmeyer. Thank you, Bill. Bill just became a member of the channel. Thank you, buddy. And welcome aboard as we met her. Michael George. Was Joey Lombardo an arsonist? Not that I know of. He really wasn't. If he was known for anything, it was for his rolling crap games. He was a gambler. Robert, you're absolutely right. Mobsters always loved boxing. I think they had to learn to take care of themselves at an early age. Sean Pender, didn't Rocky Lombardo live in Elmwood Park on Diversity Avenue? I don't know. I never met Rocky. I don't know anything about him. Michael Graham. Even though I was a North Sider, my dad was a huge White Sox fan, and it explains why I learned how to fight. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it, Michael. They're very different. The crowd says, "You're stuck with me now, Red." Okay. It's a happy stuck with you. I'm happy. Thank you. Thank you so much. William Kirschmeyer. Bill has always been very great to me. He gave me a model of my GTO. You can see it over my shoulder here. I don't know if any of you folks know my GTO story, but I dumped it in the drink, Lake Michigan. At any rate, it was one of those kind of things where, how do you describe it? It was one of those kind of things where you either belong to a crowd that liked something and geographically in the city. And most of the time, it came to sports teams. That's very much what it was. Marquette gloves. Hey, Red, do you think Joey Lombardo was actually present at the Dan Seifert murders? Yes, I do. I think he was there, and I think it was Plan B. It was a kind of a combined plan between Tony Spilotro and Joey JL. Just that at the time, I didn't know how involved in 1974. I did not know how involved Tony was. I thought Joey kind of laid it out, but he protected Emma Seifert. He took her in the bathroom with Joey Seifert, a young child, 6 years old at the time, I believe. But that's the way it was. That's the answer. I hope, Marquette Gloves, I hope that helps you. I'm looking through your comments here, folks. Justin, you have a question here. How likely do you think it is that the modern Indian casinos have a skim going on? Very likely. Very likely. I wouldn't doubt it at all. Marquette Gloves, you're certainly welcome. Michigan George, if you watch my vlog with we had the Seifert brothers on. If you watch that we name everybody who was there. I don't want to make a mistake and tell you something wrong. Jack Napier, I drove behind the Admiral Theater today and thought about the German. I don't doubt it. If I drove by, that's what would come to my mind too. I think what would come to my mind more is Pat Ricciardi. That would come to my mind more. But I would think about everything else. You watched Deadly Associates on Dubai. Who was there? Joey, Frank, Joey Lombardo, Frank Schweihs, and Tony Spilotro. Joey Hansen was there also. And there's one other person I can't think of who it is right now. It was a long time ago, guy. The government knew who did it way before Family Secrets. They just couldn't prove it. Yes, that's true, Tommy. In Wisconsin, you could get WGN, but you sure couldn't get the Sox games. That's the way it worked. Sean Peder, you read Joey Lombardo was not at the Seifert murder. He was at the police station because his wallet was stolen. Well, that's what Tony Pelicano told him to say. He was there. I don't know where you read it. I went through a thing with this Chuck Maselli about it a long time ago, a couple of years ago. And Chuck is in prison right now doing time. But I actually went on different things. I know Joey was there. We used to talk about it in the office at American Bonding. Millie knew he was there. They used her notary seal to notarize the car. Yes, Tim, I dumped that car in the lake. And Bill Kirschmeyer, the crowd here, he did you ever meet and talk to Joey's driver? No, I didn't meet him. I saw him, but I never meet him. I never met him. Indian casinos don't pay taxes. So what's the point of skimming? Well, the point is, everybody's greedy. It seems greed is something that's it's embedded in a lot of people, and there's always going to be some greed someplace where somebody is going to want more than somebody else. So that's the point. Big Tuna, did JL ever get the recognition for saving Mrs. Seifert? I gave him a lot of recognition for it. And court, no, no. They actually said he planned it in court. So, and he was running. He was street boss at the time. So it was one of those kind of things where he wasn't street boss at the time. He got up for that. Have I been to the Billy Goat Tavern? The name rings a bell. No, I haven't been there, but the name rings a bell. Tim Hunt. Anybody remember Frank Collada? Yes, we all do. Joe Collada, Tim, is going to be on Wednesday on my vlog, and that will be an hour earlier than normal. I don't know which time zone you're on, but it's going to be an hour earlier. I made the announcement. But we remember Frank. Kissy Cat, I really don't know if there's a mob, if there's a mob tour in Chicago. I really don't. The only one I know about is Adam, Adam's mob tours. Marquette Gloves, John Ferracata, Big John. I don't know if he was. I don't know what you're talking about, but I don't believe he was there. Not the Seaford murder. For all you people who need some medication. Thank you, Sean. You believe me? Okay. Chris, Red, were you most affiliated with the Grand Avenue crew? Yes, I was. Yes, I was, Chris. Chris Pasofito. Am I pronouncing that correct? Welcome, Chris. I don't recall seeing you here before. Randy Rhodes, how you doing? Hey, what's up, Brad? Hope you're doing well. I am. I'm doing very well. Uh, did I ever, Chris? You're asking, did I ever have any dealings with the C notes? If I did, nobody announced that they were C notes. Um, at the time, I had some dealings with some young guys uh, at the time. Um, one of Jimmy Cozo's sons, Philly, and I came in and they was they, they didn't. They stopped me with a baseball bat and came over to the car. Albie was there. Albie Vina, I believe it's pronounced correctly. Marquette gloves. Okay, yes, I was meaning the Seifert murder, Red. I think Nick Calabrese said he was the last guy. No, I'm sorry. That's not true. Nick Calabrese was not there. Not at Seifert murder. Justin, red smokes your brain. Red smokes my brain. Yeah, here it is, guy. Yeah, about the light one. Not keeping up with the comments as fast as I could, but sometimes that happens. Chris, you remember me from the Grime Sisters conversation? No, I really don't, Chris. I talk to a lot of people. I really do. But if we talked about the Grime Sisters, then you know what I know. I share anything openly. I just do. God bless you, buddy. Oh, Billy goes right by the Cubs. Okay. The truth. I think this is Michael. Red, ever had a Sunjoy from Chick-fil-A? Great drink. No, I haven't. Golf 3602. Is it true that Rush Street tried to horn in on Grand Avenue's business? Yeah, they did. And it didn't work out too well because it seems like Grand Avenue took over Rush Street. They opened up a lot of clubs there on Rush Street. And there was a fight over me at one time. I was and Joy went over and straightened it out. Chris, you're friends with John Flood. How's he doing these days? $66 watching and 49 likes. Hey, hit the like button, folks. You mooks. Now we're getting into name calling. Okay. Justin, you're ordering a copy of the book soon. Do I personalize them? Yes, I do, Justin. Usually I make them out to your name. Usually the name, the address of the name that it's going to, like I put to Justin and I put an inscription in there and then I put my name. Otherwise, you can get it to Amazon, amazon.com. But autographed with an inscription, personalized, yes, I do it. And it seems even though if you buy one from me and I personalize it, there's even I looked on Amazon, people that are Amazon customers can write a review. And when they do write reviews, some of them take a picture of the book or the signing where I signed it, and they say, I got mine, and they say how they got it. Amazon doesn't care. Michigan George, who controlled Chicago Heights? At different people at different times. It was kind of yeah. John Shee says, what year? And he's right. because it was controlled by different people on different times for different reasons. Randy Rhodes, how did I initially come in contact with the outfit? Through my Uncle Roy. He introduced me to the Hanson family, and Kurt Hanson was a hitman. He killed people. And he introduced me to Jimmy Couture, first Meg guy I ever met. The truth, Red, you should start. Red, you should have told the guy that you remember, Ped from the convo, he might show up dressed as a woman with a pair of scissors. The truth, you got a sense of humor, guy. Now, there's a man who read my book carefully. Red had to remove his slot machines from Chicago Heights. That's when Al Pilato was in charge of Heights, the Chicago Heights, and his brother was the police chief. Yes, there are a lot of nuts out there, guy. Kissy Cat, Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame. Yes, he should. Baseball Hall of Fame. When that scandal came up years ago, I thought it was a shame. I really did. As a matter of fact, I had a friend that was collecting sports memorabilia, and he had a couple of Pete Rose bats that were signed by Pete Rose. Lord only knows what they're worth today. Hit the like button, you mamalukes. Tim Hunt, all I know is Vince Solano didn't kill me after I dragged his car through a frozen car wash back in the 80s. Now they don't kill people over that. Sean Pender, my in-laws had poker machines in that were in Tacos territory. You mean Chicago Heights? Poker machines were kind of after my day. Rich, was it Casero? C-A-S. I'll just go Rich C, okay, buddy? I must have been likable. I was liked by almost everybody. Nobody ever took issue with me that I know of. Jimmy Couture let me in his house without being from his family. Jimmy was from Capone's days. Jimmy did like me. Rich, if you read my book, you'd know why. Jimmy was very good to me. He actually sent me out to Las Vegas in 1968. I like Jimmy. I was sickened when he was killed, murdered. Francis Brady, the butcher boy. You would bring him up.
Francis Brady, the butcher boy.
Okay, guys. Red, was there a reason why your bookstore and the bijou were located in Old Town as opposed to another neighborhood? Maybe a mobbed up alderman. No, it had nothing to do with the alderman. I didn't even bother with the alderman. The bijou was there way before I got there. Way before I got there. The Over 21 bookstore was there way before I got there. The strip joints were there way before I got there. The Crystal Pistol, the Nocturne, all those places were there way before I got there. Why were they there? It was like a strip of sin all the way down Wells Street in Old Town. That's what it was like. Steve Wilkins, was Joey the Clown, okay, a Blackhawks fan? Yes, he was. He certainly was. Italians don't like hockey. Their bowling shoes are too slippery for the ice. Okay. Unreal. You guys make me laugh. And that's good. I hope I make you laugh too. The truth. Red, who was the biggest mafioso fanboy I ever met in my life? A complete brown noser. I really don't know of any. Not one. Really. I didn't run across any. Kissy cat, getting paid at school was nothing compared to the trimming my mom and dad would provide for free of charge. No cost. Justin, was there ever anybody in the outfit you or others thought was a closeted gay? Not that I know of. Not really. Everybody had a lot of girlfriends. So I don't think people were very monogamous, most of them. Or they weren't married. They didn't have to be monogamous. Well, Michael Graham, now that you brought this up, I will address it. It seemed like the strip of sin, mostly homosexual, moved from Old Town to Boys Town at Belmont. It really wasn't there. There was a great big strip that was at Clark and Diversey. It was actually on Diversey. And it goes way back in the 50s. There was the Orange Cockatoo that used to be the Century Theater on Diversey Avenue. But Clark and Diversey, there was like maybe 1920 gay bars. And it was all run by Marshall Cufano in the early years. And then when he went to prison in 1964, or when he went out to Las Vegas, it all got lost. It really did. I forget the guy who kind of ran it, but he was associated with the Rush Street Crew, and he was all the way up there. Rush Street Crew really pushed around a lot of people until Grand Avenue and Joey got around. Rich, Red, were you a good businessman? Was any of the Alpha guys as good as you were? Did you ever make any money off Alpha guys, or did they just make money off of you? They just made money off of me. I was a good businessman. I think I was. Several people have asked me about it. Hey, Red, do you have any good? Chuck asked me here. Hi, Red. Did you have any bookstores on Manheim and Leiden Township? No, I didn't. I didn't. I sold Rush to him. I used to go out there and sell Rush to him. I owned Rush at the time, and I used to go out and sell them to him by the cases. But I just throw them in the back of the car and go out there. Uh, you know, you're right, Robert. Um, that Marshall swang both ways. I don't think out of prison he did, because he really it's something that I saw in his prison jacket, and in Johnny Rogers' prison jacket, that he was Marshall Cofano's prison wife, and I looked at that and said, "Wow, that's hard to believe," and it was hard to believe. But looking back in history, yeah. So suspected, nobody ever said anything to him. I mean, he was respected by everybody. Nobody ever said anything to him. I think he was respected because he was feared. But nobody ever said anything to him that I know, ever. Just wasn't one of those things that was brought up. Here's a Chicagoan. Goff. We used to call it Clark and perversity. I don't doubt it. Are you talking about, back in 1961, 62, and that time, Goff? John Ramsey, how you doing from the Quad Cities? I haven't seen you in a while, John. Thanks for stopping by. Kissy Cat, was there ever a clash with Mexican gangs or Asian gangs in Chicago? Always. Always. Many clashes. Many, many clashes. Tim Hunt, just be glad you live in Chicago, because if you didn't, you probably live someplace else. Okay. Stephen Wilkins, Red, what kind of porn was legal back then versus illegal? Um, they hadn't come to it in the beginning. They hadn't come to a Supreme Court decision yet on what was illegal. I mean, interstate transportation of any obscene material was illegal. So they finally went to it was up to the community. The only thing that I had to watch out for very carefully was animals and children in pornography. Other than that, everything else was legal. As perverse as it was legal. It really was. Now I don't know what's illegal and what's I don't think anything's illegal now except animal and children. And people, I don't find these stores like that anymore. They just don't have them. Thank you for your comment. I appreciate it, Steve. Stephen Wilkins. Scott, Red, did you ever hear of William Jehoda? Yes, I did. I not only heard of him, but one of the agents that worked with him was Tom Moriarty. And Tom and I used to talk about him during Family Secrets. We talked about him a lot because I was up in the office there for about a month before the trial started. And Tom was kind of his control agent. And he told me that when he came to town, he would go out and walk the streets and talk to friends and different people. And he said he's got some kind of death wish. Did I know him? No. Did we talk about him? We talked about him a lot. I never really knew what he did and what he didn't do. I knew he flipped. He was a government witness, but I don't know what he was involved in. I might have at one time and just forgot about it. John Apollo from Greece. Hello, Red and everybody. John is over in Greece, and he tuned to say hi to me. Thank you. Thank you, John. Chicago's new mayor-elect, Johnson, wants to abolish at least or defund the police. Yeah, well, I don't know how that's going to work out for Chicago. It's not done too well so far. I mean, I'm in Florida, and all I hear is I watch YouTube and see all the news about shootings and everything else every day. It doesn't stop. Justin, every question you want answered on the origins of the hardcore porn could be watched by learning. Yeah, it could be. Hustler magazine was a big deal. I was forced to sell it. We had to go down to Cincinnati, Ohio, and see Larry Flynt. And that's one thing. The People versus Flint. He said he was never involved in organized crime. He was. He was backed by the outfit. Robert, did I ever hear the Bijou recording on Up? Yes, I did. Many times. Steve Dahl used to play it on the radio. And marketing pre-internet. Yes. Steve Dahl used to play it on the radio, and he would make me laugh. It was so funny. I mean, I didn't like it at all. I mean, but it made us laugh. We all laughed and said, "Are they crazy?" Hello, Red Gov. Now the porn is in the schools being taught. I don't think it is. I hope not. It sure isn't where I live. I'll tell you that much. I'm in the panhandle of Florida, and it's kind of, I would say, very conservative. That would never get into our schools. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, Cicero and Berwyn, yeah. In Cicero and Berwyn, yeah, they had newsstands there. You could buy anything you wanted to. Red, when you lived on the south side, did I go to Tony's Italian Beef at 70th and Pulaski? No, I didn't. Dave, I'm sorry, I didn't. Where's Carmine? I don't know. He ain't here. He's someplace else. I think he went over down the street. Carmine. I will never get over Carmine. Okay, we're getting a lot of comments about the mayors of Chicago. Penthouse was not controlled at all, Steve. It was not. It was soft porn, soft core porn. Yes, Playboy was headquartered in Chicago, and the outfit did make a couple moves on him, Sean, and that's why they went out to California, where everything is kind of free. uh, he may have looked like it, but he wasn't. And that's a fact. Here comes the crowd. In the Navy, we called them all porn technical manuals. Okay. That's different. Justin, here in Washington, they are way too liberal about sex ed to say they were at the least. Washington State, I think all that West Coast up there, all the way from California, all the way up to the Canadian border, I think is very liberal. And I don't know where it's going. I really don't, but I'm 74 years old. So I have no idea where it's going. I don't like where it's gone so far. Talk about being opinionated. I am. Michael Graham, I think it's safe to say that you were involved in porn back in the day. We're getting a visit from the mob. Everybody that nobody, well, Frank Oliver, he was, they opened up a store next or close to him in Chicago. And when they did, he didn't have, he never asked for permission to be there. He was paying somebody. But he wasn't the the capo of the territory that he was in. And the other store was not making enough money. And they told him to close. He didn't close because he was paying somebody. I believe it was Turk Torello, somebody like that. And they went over and roughed up his store. And he wound up getting caught in the line of fire and getting killed. And that was the end of that. There were several people that opened up stores that I know of, and they got murdered. They didn't have permission. And nobody came around to say, okay, we'll let you open up or just give us some money. They didn't do that. What I called independence. You remember the newsstands too. Street taxes applied. Yes, they did, Scott. Certainly did. Robert E. Erickson, or C. Erickson. Hey, Red, the last time I saw the German and the clown was in Wheeling at Mr. Lee's. Mr. Nobody. You know, that's rare, Robert. I didn't know you saw them together, and especially in Wheeling. But they had some gambling out there. They did have some gambling out there. I forget the name of the other place out there where they had gambling. Libertyville. That whole area out there. Interesting story. I don't know many people that's seen them together. I did, but you're probably one of the few people alive that can say, I saw them both together. Michael George, yes, I did. And I'll explain it to you just as I've explained it many times. There's been a lot of controversy over it. Some people said, oh, no, He's BSing us. That's it. It's not true. But we were drinking scotch, and I wasn't inebriated. It was at my home, and I was kind of easy, laid back. I was comfortable, and I said, Tony, there's something we ought to talk about. And he said, what? And I said, I'm a mole for the FBI. And he said, no shit. And that was all. It was never mentioned again. It was never mentioned again. That was in the 70s. I had known him quite a few years before that happened. Of course, there's a lot of things I just never said about Tony. MJP, good evening. A bit late, but you made it. Well, thank you for making it, guy. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoy it. If you enjoy the show, I need all the help I can get. I'm lucky enough. I've got some new members that join my channel. That's great. God has blessed me, and you folks have blessed me too. Scott Summit was so mobbed up, it was pathetic. Everywhere, Lions, Berwyn, Summit, all that area. That's the way it was. Where did I live on the south side, Red? You lived off 79th Street near Rainbow Beach. I lived west on the south side. When I was in Chicago, I lived at a bungalow at 3840 West 63rd Place, right by Clearing, by the airport, Midway. And that was by Pulaski. Well, 3840, you can guess by the address. Wasn't far away. Another time I rented a house in South Schweihs, and it was on State Street. A couple other places too. I moved around a lot. Market close. Yes, Frank, honestly, he was a very good friend. He was a very good friend. When you have a real friendship, there is no borders or anything. And we agreed never to talk about business. We never talked about his business or my business at all. So that's the way it was. Hey, how you doing, guy? Dave, good to see you. Hit that like button, folks. Thank you, Mobbed Up Podcast. Thank you. I appreciate it. Pete Byron, the porn owners never got a warning. The outfit just clipped them. No, there wasn't anybody that didn't get a warning. And I try to explain that to a lot of people. Somebody always got a warning. You got told. You got told one time. If you didn't listen to what you were told, that was your problem. Justin, you're an important person in our national history. Least we could do. Thank you, Justin. God bless you, guy. God bless all of you. Thank you for stopping by. Enjoyed spending an hour with you. A little bit over an hour. And we have one more I'll do here. Michael Graham. I'll do two more. Red, can you correct me if I'm wrong? The reason Tony didn't care if you're an FBI mole was because he knew you were his loyal friend. Yes, he did. And we didn't talk about business. There was nothing to betray him on. We had an agreement. We didn't talk about business. We talked about women. We drank scotch. That's all. Dave, I'll answer your question very quickly. I went to a lot of different high schools, but I went to Morton in Cicero. We're getting close, guys. We're getting close to 3,000 prescribers. Yeah. Thank you, Luminous Grin. God bless all of you. Have a great week. And I'll see you Wednesday. Remember, Joe Collada is going to be on Wednesday, and that will be on my vlog. It's on an hour earlier than usual. So that would be 3 o'clock Central Time. And it's also going to be on the West Coast time. That would be, let's see, 1 o'clock, I believe. And it's just 2 hours earlier than it normally is, or an hour earlier, depending on which time zone you're in. So thank you all for coming by. And God bless you.
The combination of the videotapes and Wemette's testimony resulted in the conviction of 2 men on extortion charges. One of them was Frank Schweihs, known in syndicate circles as the German, a feared mob terrorist and a suspect in a number of gangland murders.
He was described to me by other outfit individuals as the most feared hitman. And as he said to me, my reputation precedes me, son.